actually, which is very palatable if you're a kite, or indeed if you're a carnivore. Meat is meat. It's only us humans that might say, well, I like chicken, not so fond of lamb. No, well, I've had a bit of a funny tummy after I had a bit of pork. If you're a wild animal, if you've got meat, you're delighted. If you're a carnivore, doesn't matter what it is. And he does get a whole range, actually. The little chicks, which you'll often see around small carnivores in collections of one sort or another. Those are a byproduct of the egg industry. It's all the boys. They're not going to lay eggs, are they? But then also he's going to be having rat and beef and horse and pigeon and the occasional bit of seagull and squirrel and goodness knows what else. Barry here is 4 years old. That means he's a young adult. And what he's doing, by the way, he doesn't understand showbiz. He's not actually doing a show for you, or at least he doesn't realise it. He doesn't know what you're sitting there for. He doesn't care about impressing you. Certainly isn't interested in pleasing me. He's having fun. He's enjoying himself. He's playing with the air currents. And for him, that's a motivation. Food's one thing, but the other thing is just enjoying flight. And make the most of it, because it's great to see. We don't often get to see it as close as this. And actually a lot of birds of prey, they don't fly for fun. They fly to get from A to B. But they're all different. And he's, of course, very buoyant. You can see what he's doing. He's trying to stay airborne, enjoy the updrafts, enjoy not having to flap his wings. That's why he keeps circling around. He's feeling where he can, a bit of air. Ambitious hunter. He's not going to catch anything very large. But sometimes, in fact, it might even be that he's grabbing an insect on the wing. And that's as far as his aerial agility really is going to come in. When it comes to catching things that in flight, he's not going to catch birds. He's not quick enough for that. But let's see, we'll offer him a chance to demonstrate how he might catch a nice crunchy locust. I'll fling a bit of food up there. Going to catch that one. Oh, well done, Barry. So he's catching with the feet. The feet are always the tools for making the grab, and actually often squeezing the life out of prey if you're hunting. And then he's passed it up to his beak. For the benefit of a bit of lift there, he didn't have to worry about supporting himself and controlling everything and eating at the same time, which can get complicated. He found that very easy. The food's gone down there. Macbeth sends his soldiers to wipe out his rival Macduff's wife and children. So, oh hellkite, take the mother hen and all little chicks with one fell swoop. And that's another thing the kite's going to do. They're going to try and snatch a little chick from behind the mother hen's back when the cockerel's not there on duty. Let's bring him back to the glove then. Just one more time now. Deliciously juicy there. I'm wearing a fair amount of that. That's why I bursted it sometimes myself. That's the yolk. I had an egg for breakfast with a bit of bacon this morning. Of course, we find that delicious. So do the birds, but whilst it's refreshing, I try to keep as much of it off my clothes as I possibly can. So there we're going to take Barry away now. We'll have a look at another bird in just a moment. What about a round of applause for Barry the kite? Well done, Barry. Do a veteran. In fact, if he was living in the wild, he'd be starting to become exceptional. Not very many eagle owls will live quite as long as this. It's not out of the question, but it's not going to be common. As he's not a wild eagle owl, in the sense that he doesn't have to depend upon his own resources to survive from day to day, then I'm hoping he's got a good many years ahead of him. Let's see whether we can persuade him. This is one that doesn't fly for pleasure. He flies to get from A to B if it's worth his while, which is why I'm walking backwards and forwards and making it worth his while. I'm offering him a bite to eat if he'll fly off and show off his great big wings in front of us here.
Ready? Watch. Here he goes. Go.
Yes, okay, Bo, you just have to jump and flap. It's quite simple. I can't demonstrate it. I've seen it done lots of times. There we are. Enjoy that. Now, the owls are very distinctive, aren't they? They are very different. I say you can recognise owls easily, even though there are lots of types, 130 or so different species of owls. Most of them are going to look a bit like Bo. Never mind, they're going to be different colours, different sizes, slightly different shapes, adapted to different climates, different geographical regions and so on. They're mostly going to look owlish. There are about 12 that don't. The hawk owls who hunt in the daytime don't hunt at night, and it is that nocturnal behaviour which sets the owls apart from the other birds of prey, to whom incidentally they're not closely related. They're not just a nighttime branch of the bird of prey family tree. They happen to have evolved along a similar route to end up being birds that hunt. So feet are going to be what you grab with, beak is going to be what you dismember with if you're not going to swallow it. Self being very sensitive, and also little whiskers around the beak which you might see, which are also very tactile too. But as well as that, as well as having the good night vision. See him looking up into the sky over there. He's glancing all the time. He's like all wild animals need to be aware of what's going on around them all the time. We're the only ones that can walk around looking at a phone like this with headphones on. Everything else, including old Bobo, doesn't appear to be wide awake like that, but he's alert all the time, never switches off. And I'll always look. If he looks up into the sky, I'll look, because he'll spot other birds. I'm interested in all the other birds that are around here, and particularly if he sees another bird of prey, then he'll lock onto that, because that's competitive. That's competition. Needs to make sure it's not going to creep up on him and give him a whack on the head or something like that, which is the way it might go. So he's got the very good night vision, as well as sacrificing in an evolutionary sense his ability to read fine print, which perhaps doesn't bother him very much. He's also sacrificed the ability to appreciate colours, and so he's seeing the world in monochrome, but has got better night vision. I'm helping you out there. You're not quite sure, it's definitely a piece of meat there. One thing about colour vision is that it allows you to separate little objects against the background much easier, I think, than you don't have that. And he's looking there, he's not absolutely certain, and he's not sure whether he really wants it, but there we are in your own time, Bo. Down he goes. So as well as having very good night vision, he can find his way around when the sun's gone down. He's also got very keen hearing. And in an ancestral sense, again, evolution is constantly going on, of course, isn't it? You can imagine his distant ancestors starting to become better at hunting at night, and having larger eyes is going to allow you to collect in that bit of starlight or moonlight much better. And as soon as you've got bigger eyes, you're going to have a bigger head, quite clearly. You've got to keep them somewhere, haven't you, out of the rain. And when you've got a bigger, wider skull, your ears are further apart. And then, interestingly, it means that you get better at telling where a squeak's coming from. You get better at recognising the direction. I'll drop that bit. Here, I'll have that one. Recognising where a sound, you get stereo, you can tell right and left when you hear it. Instead of just thinking there's a mouse around there somewhere, you get better at telling just where it is. Owls today actually depend upon that ability to pinpoint a little noise, a little rustling noise in the undergrowth perhaps, made by a little animal moving about, scuffling about, just as much as they do. We're going to go ready, steady, go, then you have to dash off there, don't let go of the stick, but listen, if I shout stop, I don't want you disappearing out through the gate over there. So we're going to take Bo right back over here, because of course wings, owls are one of the slowest of all the birds of prey actually. They're not built for speed, they're built for being very systematic and very quiet as well. Of course it's important to fly quietly with soft feathers if you're listening whilst your wings are beating. But wings are an advantage over little legs, so we are going to make sure that Ollie gets a chance to get going. Are you ready, Ollie? Yeah. Ready, steady, go! Off goes Bo, down an absolute flying start there, and stop! Well done, that didn't last long, did it? Ollie was just getting into his stride, I think. Well, let's give him a clap there. And Bo, again, like the others, Bo doesn't do this to impress us. Bo loves that. It's a different aspect of his character you'll see coming out there. He really is being the hunter. Now I can see he's puffed up, he's kind of got his hackles up now, he's feeling possessive. Even though he's not a real rat, he's gone through that natural sequence of behaviour, the satisfaction of which is what we call pleasure. We like to do things which are sort of distantly related to what we might have done in the sports and things like that. In his case, it's a bit closer. The food there is, nice bit of food there as well. Thank you very much, Ollie. I think you're about as good as your brother, I'd say. I don't know if there's a clear winner there.
There's another one over here somewhere. Oh, is it? Yeah. Can't see it at the moment though. We saw it back there. You gone now? Yeah.
I don't think we can get down this way. I think we've got to go around.
Let's have a look.
got?
don't know.
Duck.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's go. See. Fantastic looking.